Hi y'all, it's Dloveoffashion, and today's episode is going to be about finding your passion. Last year, while I was looking up a bunch of career different ideas and everything, I came across this sheet that says find your passion, and I will put this on my Pinterest and my board. That's Dloveoffashion. That way if you want to get a copy of it, you can do that, or reach out to me and I'll send you a copy of it. And there's also a website. It's www.solutionstoallyourproblems.com, and I'll be sure and have everything written up here for you just in case. And before I forget, before we carry on, to follow me on my social medias. It's going to be Dloveoffashion, which will be my Facebook, my Instagram, my Pinterest, and my TikTok. And if you want to purchase any of my used clothing or shoes or other things that I have on Poshmark, that is under FoxyDLove. So you guys ready to find out what I chose? Because I filled this out, that way you kind of get an idea for how I got started and, the things that I think about. And the reason I decided to do this is a lot of times when I ask people if you could do anything you wanted to do as you grow up, and this is even as adults when I ask that, and a lot of times people say, I don't know what I would do. But I have always known I'd have this thing for fashion. It is a way of self-expression, and that's what I like. And it can fit your different moods, your different vibes, where you're going. I mean, whether you're staying at home, you wear fashion. You go to the store, you wear fashion. You go shopping, you wear fashion. You go into work, driving your car. There's just so many different ways and so many elements that go with fashion, and that's what I love about it. It's a way of, like I said, self-expression. It's the way I paint, it's the way I create, and I love to share that passion with others. When I've worked in retail, I always love to help people pick out outfits and how to wear something more than one way, so that way they get more bang for their buck, instead of just you buy it one time and then you're done with it and it goes in your closet or in your drawers. So this way I would always tell them, well, you can wear it several different ways. Or when people say, oh, I can't, I don't believe in you can't in ageism in fashion. I think it's all up to the individual and how you rock it. It's just how you walk into the room and you're like, yeah, that's right, I am fabulous and I am rocking this. And that's just what it's all about to me. And by the way, a lot of people have been asking for my sidekick. She's busy kind of snoozing, but that's okay. I love my girl. She's like my little Vanna White, or whatever you want to call her. She's my ride or die, my little foxy girl. And one of these days we'll figure out something a little bit more to do with it, but she really doesn't like all this attention. She likes it for me, but she doesn't like all this, like taking her picture. That girl, she gets so crazy. She just like kind of melts and like, oh my gosh. But she's so beautiful. I tell her that a million gazillion times a day. So anyways, let's get started. I'm so excited. So the first one is, what was your favorite thing to do growing up? Well, of course, my favorite thing was playing with Barbies. And I'll show you, my favorite Barbie was always PJ. I loved her the most. I just loved her eyes, and I don't know about the dog ears, because I still have, like, my first ones when I was little. You should see how many Barbies I have. I have tons and tons and tons of them. I've always wanted a room that I could just display all of my Barbies. Like, I have a home that one of my neighbor kids gave to me that I still want to paint. I've got cars, I have Corvettes, I have Mustangs, I have motorcycles, I've got furniture, and so that is on my to-do list of making me a Barbie room, Barbie town, whatever you want to call it, because I just have so many and I love them all. I just always had so much fun, creating, and the outfits and all that good stuff, and we didn't always have like all the different kinds of clothing, so we would have scraps of fabric and we would just tie things or do whatever we had to do to make it, and we'd use them for blankets or whatever. And I also liked playing house. Our mom would let us use some of her old makeup, and so I always would put my makeup on, and my mom always told me I was really good at putting my makeup on. You know, again, part of the artistic thing is just, you know, again, a way to create and a way to paint. And we would dress up, and I mean, I was always Jim Monroe, Farrah Fawcett, you know. Some things kind of come true in your own way. And I do drive a Mustang, so it's not a Cobra 2, but it's a Mustang. And I also like playing with Hot Wheels, so that is one reason why, you know, I love cars. Muscle cars are my favorite. Firebirds are my favorite. And then it would probably go Mustang, and then Camaros. Just everybody liked Camaros, so that's why I'm a Firebird girl. They're different. They're unique, and now you can't buy them unless you get you a Camaro and then you redo it into a Firebird, which is what I really, really want. So that's what I loved to do as I was growing up. And also we had the best 70s shows. You know, Captain and Tennille, Sonny and Cher, Charlie's Angels, of course. Bionic Woman, Isis. I mean, there were so many women to look up to, and they were so fabulous, and they were doing it all, you know, superheroes or detectives or you name it, and I love them for it. And the next one, number 2, is when you were a child, what did you dream of doing when you grew up? First it was a nurse, and I think that's just kind of a little girl thing, and I think I saw blood or something. That's all I remember is like I saw blood, or maybe somebody got hurt, and I was like, you know what, that's just not for me. And then all of a sudden it just came to me that I wanted to be a fashion designer, and I still have all my drawings from when I was little. I started this in grade school. You should see this notebook. I have this notebook here. Look at this. And it has all of my drawings from when I was little, you know, till, you know, the current years, and I kind of gotten out of habit, and I need to get back into it, but I have them all. You know, that's how much I've always loved this. And one of my favorite ones that I drew, we were out fishing, and it was this one, and I'll take a better picture of it, was of Madonna. And we were, well, the others were fishing, and me and my cousin were just there on the bank and just doing our own thing, being teenagers or whatever. And I drew that out there. And that was a really big moment and a big memory for me. So I've been wanting to do it for a long time. And what is your favorite topic to talk about? That's number 3. Gee, what do you think it is? Fashion. Because again, it's like, it's just a beautiful thing. It just makes me so happy to see fashion, to look at fashion, and even the things sometimes I may not always agree with. I mean, at least it's an idea and it's something for me to look at. You know, like everybody hated that Bjorn. She had that dress that was a swan, and I think her purse was an egg. I thought it was fabulous. Everybody hated it, but I loved it because it was so out of the box, and it was different, but yet still pretty and elegant, and so I loved it. I thought it was really cool. And number 4, what do you like doing so much that you lose track of time? That would be shopping. I love to shop, and it doesn't even matter if I don't have any money. I remember at one point in time I didn't have money, but I loved just going to the mall, and I would just go through and I would touch things. And some stores have a certain smell, especially if you go to Boot Barn and you smell that leather all day. All day, every day. It's such a good smell. But I just like to touch it, and I kind of like, you know, I like to see what's going on out there, you know. And then once you work retail, you kind of, it's kind of weird how you see that basically all the stores have the same stuff in it. It was kind of weird for me when I started at Old Navy, and I was like, wow, like we carry this and that and this and that, and so it's just kind of funny to see. But I love to shop, and like I said, it's not even about spending money, it's just about looking at all the pretty things. That's what I like to do, and like I said, to touch it and see the prices and all that good stuff. And then also looking at fashion. I really miss the fashion magazines. They just got too political this last year, and I think a lot of them are gone. But I always just like to see what they're doing, the photography, different accessories, and the different designers. My favorite designers are always Italian. Roberto Cavalli is my favorite because he does a lot of animal print. As you can kind of tell, I'm all about the animal print. And I like Dolce & Gabbana, and I do like Ralph Lauren because he's a little more on the casual side, a little more elegant, simple side. And the other ones, it's usually just pieces like Prada and stuff like that, but I'm a little more down to earth, but except for the crazy wild animal prints. But and then like now I look at fashion, I just look at it on my phone, like with Pinterest. I like to just cruise through, or even look at my boards to see what I have, or if I get bored with my closet, I go on there to see what have I saved and what can I do differently with the stuff that I have. And number 5, whose life do you envy the most and why? I don't believe in envying anybody's life. I couldn't think of anybody that, oh my gosh, I wish I was like them, because I do truly love being me, even through the ups and the downs, the good, the bad. Yeah, I would just rather be me and be successful and not, try to emulate anybody else, because there's only one me, and I like that there's only one me. I don't know if the world could handle more than one me, and Lord knows I couldn't. And the only thing I could come up with is I do miss my job at Shepler's when I was there, and I was only there a year and a half. It was the best job I ever had. I was a sample coordinator, and I would order stuff from the warehouse that needed to be shot on figure, or just stills, or sometimes we would do things for Instagram. And so my boss always trusted me. Once she hired me, she trusted me with the ideas I had, and so I would just bring different ideas, and some things would get rejected, or some things we'd have to tweak or whatever. I don't mean rejected as in a bad way, it just didn't fit, and that was okay. It was a great learning experience. So I would order the stuff, and then it was like Christmas. Every day I got a box from the warehouse, and I got to unwrap everything, and I'd hang it up, or we shot boots or whatever, I'd stuff them full of cotton so they look really nice when we shot them. And belts, you would twist them a certain way, and you'd stuff purses and all kinds of things. And so, like with the clothing, I'd pull it out, and I'd just start to think about, oh my gosh, what can I do to style this? What jeans, what boots, what jewelry, and all kinds of things. I just loved how my mind would just like, oh my gosh. And there was things that I was like, what in the holy hell is this? But a lot of times, you'd put it on figure, and the models would just bring it to life, and you're like, that is actually pretty gosh darn cute. And so we'd just go with it and go from there. And so we all got laid off because they moved it all out to California. And then so my next dream was, I was hoping I'd get to move out to California and do the same thing, because I really enjoyed it. And like I said, it's the way I love to paint and create and show off the clothing. Again, I always would try to think like I was the customer, and what kind of details would I want to see up close and personal, just besides styling it, because I would style it and then I would like take the stuff off and make it more just about the piece, and then go through and get like details of the sleeve, details of the back. If there was any details on the side, you would show all of that. So I absolutely loved it. It was the best job ever. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been 3 years. I'm still sad about it, and I still miss it. But with my Poshmark closet, I do things that way, and now with these videos, I do it with things like this, so I can show my talent, and because it just makes me so happy. And I'm still just trying to figure out where that happy is, what it's going to look like and all that. So that is my ending part. Number 6, what would you do differently with your education if you got a chance to start over? Well, nothing against my family, but my family never really pushed us for education or to do anything with your life, to go for it. It was always like, you're just going to be a worker bee, and it's kind of like, you know, like it, love it, whatever, hate it, this is your life. And it's always been a question in my life, is like, is this all my life is about, is just to work? And I don't mean I don't want to work, it just means there has to be more meaning to my life than just being a number at a building and just punching away and doing the same thing over and over and over again, just so I can have money, just so I can pay bills. And that was, you know, my next question is like, so this is all my life is about, is just to pay bills? There's nothing else to my life? I mean, I have a mind. It's like, you know, I'm creative, and creative people have a hard time being in a box. I like to be out of the box. I like to paint on that box, color that box, staple on that box, glue things, throw glitter on it, throw flowers on it. That's the kind of person I am. And, you know, and there's people that like the worker bee life, and that's great for them. But for me, it's not what I choose. And that's why I've always questioned it. And so I can never figure out how to get to classes. I always wanted to go to California. I don't know why. I was always drawn to it. I'm scared to go there now, but because it's like crazy town out there. And so if I would ask a lot more questions, and I would figure out how I can make it happen. You know, I think, I don't know, maybe in my 30s, I can't remember. I did apply for a school. I got accepted, but it was going to be, I don't know, like $30,000, $50,000 to go to the school out in California. And I didn't have the good credit, because you couldn't get, what's it called, the school loan thing, where you get it through the government or whatever. I couldn't get accepted to that, and they would only, I can't remember at the time, but it was like $3,000 or something is all it would cover. It wouldn't cover the rest of it. So I was like, well, I can't afford that. And it's like, and I've also had a hard time believing that you have to pay the rest of your life for this education. And all I've ever heard is a lot of times people don't make any more money once they go to college. So you know, there's been a lot for me to think about, and I know in my gut things that are good, things that aren't right. So, but anyways, I would work a lot harder when you're younger, trying to figure all this out. So if any of you youngins are listening, try to figure it out now. Whether you just work really hard and save up a lot of money so you can go to school and move, do whatever you need to do it. And then number 7, if you had 5 minutes and the whole world was forced to listen, what would you say? I would tell everybody how fun fashion is. It is a functionality, you know, most of the time you have to wear it, you know, basically in public you have to wear it. Express yourself, love yourself, and accept the flaws. It's a long journey to accept those flaws, and I've always worked on my weight. I got down to a decent weight a couple years ago, and now I'm gaining it back, and I'm terrified, I'm scared. I keep trying different things. I work out 1 to 3 times a day. I change up what I eat. I change up supplements, and so I'm a little terrified. I'm going the wrong way, and I just don't know how to go back to where I was healthily. And so anyways, I do love myself. I do love my body. I just want to be healthier. You know, just a little bit smaller, because it was so nice when I did lose the weight. I mean, I went to Worlds of Fun, and I was able to ride in rides and not be all squished in and, you know, feel like I'm going to pop out of something. So that's what I would tell people, to embrace fashion. Don't worry about the size. Don't worry about the number. Worry about how it fits. If it fits good, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you look in a bunch of our closets, you're going to see, you know, well, now I have smaller sizes that I can't get into, but even when I started this journey, I was wearing size 16 in Old Navy jeans. And then when I got down to about 180, I could get into a size 10, which doesn't make any sense. I started out, I weighed like, I think it was 250, and I got down to 180. But I only lost, I went from 16, 14, 12 to 10. I just didn't think that, and it wasn't all 10s. It was very few 10s I could get into, so it was more like a 12. And I just always thought that was weird that I lost that much weight, and it's the only amount of sizes I went down. So you need to think about those kinds of things. It's like like Old Navy's usually, they vanity size, so you can wear a smaller size in their stuff. So that's just something to look at too. And it could be the way it's cut. I always look at it, it's the designer, it's the business. It has nothing to do with your size. And again, if you want to see some body positivity, go to TikTok. There's a lot of girls on there right now still doing their Shein hauls with their bikinis and their swimsuits. And I absolutely love them. And they're saying the exact same thing. Love yourself. And they clap their thighs together. It's hilarious. But hilariously beautiful, if you know what I mean. It's like, I just love to see the movement. I think it's a great thing. And then, number 8, what would you do with your life if you had no fear? If right now, today, if I had the money and the resources, I would start an online store and sell tees that I've designed. I have designed some tees, but they're just sitting there out there in space because I can't figure out how to make a website work. I don't know. I have a website, and I think it's, I can't remember if it's Printify or Printful, that I have these shirts designed. I think I have 10 of them designed, but I can't get them to hook up to the website. And it says that they can, and same with like WooCommerce. I just don't know how to get them all to talk and to do what they need to do. And like same with the website, I can't get all the things off of there because you know, you download the simple one and then you take off the pictures and add your pictures. Well, some of them I can't figure out how to get there. And you know, one day I decided just to go through and I just clicked through every single thing and I worked on it. Well, I got a lot done doing that, but now I have the next things that I have no idea. And I've tried to Google it, I've tried to YouTube it, but if they don't go exactly the same steps that I'm trying to do, well then I don't understand what they're saying. This stuff's over my head. Somebody needs to come up with a simple way to make a simple website. I don't need all this lingo. I just want to plug, and hit go. And then just let it all be out there. So, because I tried to go through another route of going through a business to make t-shirts, and I just don't think that they were interested. They said they would get back with me on pricing, and they never did, so I just feel like they just weren't interested. They don't have the time or whatever, so I just went my own route, decided to do it myself, and I was pretty excited that some of the stuff that I came up with, I was excited some of the stuff they came up with, but it is what it is. So I'm like Wile E. Coyote. I hit the ground running, and I just keep running and running, and I hit the wall, and then I slide down, and then I get up and shake myself off, and I hit the ground running again. So I keep doing this until I find the right spot, and that's why the Shivlers thing still hurts me that I did find the right thing. It just didn't last. Not near long enough. And then I always hope that maybe I was there to learn the things I did, because I mean I do know how to style like on figure, still shots and stuff like that. So that's a good thing. I did learn all of that. Number 9, what would you do with your life if you had a guarantee of success? You know, once I got the whole online store, I would love to have open a brick and mortar store. I think that would be so much fun. Because again, I like to touch everything, and I do like the customers. I do like to help. I like to merchandise. I love to make everything look pretty. So when people come into the store and they're like, oh my gosh, it's like, I love that outfit. I love that look. Where's this at? Where's it at? And so then you help them find that look. Or maybe they don't like the colors, but you could find something similar, or we might be out of something in their size. So then you see if you could find something comparable to it that they might like just as well, if not better. And I love those kinds of challenges, you know. Or they're looking for a certain size, and you're like, okay, let's go see what we have. And so you go find it and you make it happen for them. So that would be something way down in the future. But and number 10, what would you do with your life if money wasn't an issue? I'd have a successful online presence with my stores, my videos, my inspirations. You know, like, I love doing these videos and talking to y'all, and just sharing my thoughts, and I know my friends seem to enjoy it. And then, you know, also have a physical store. This truly is my passion. I just don't, like I said, I just don't always know how to get there. The biggest thing holding me back right now is, you know, getting a website up. I can't afford to buy product right now. I ran out of money waiting for this other t-shirt gig to happen, and it didn't happen. But it is what it is. It wasn't meant to be. And I'm always good with those kinds of thoughts, you know. Sometimes it isn't meant to be, and that's okay. You just have to figure out where you move on next. And that's where I'm trying to figure out, you know, where do I go from here? You know, I'm being vulnerable. I don't know where I need to go. I don't know what I need to do. I know what I want to do. I don't know. I need my fairy godmother to show up and beam me with her scepter. Because, you know, I do pray. I've made manifestation boards. Is that what they're called? Anyways, I've made the boards. I have a beautiful board in my bedroom. It never seems to work. I've had rocks. I've bought rocks. I've prayed. I've prayed a lot. Just all kinds of things. So anyways, and here's some of my artwork. This was a mandala, one of my favorite teachers at WSU. And of course that has the animal print behind it in the beautiful gold, you know, which represents the Italian. I am a Leo, so that's why I love a lion, and the big, beautiful mane. This is one of my favorite pieces I made. It's like cardboard, and it's Sculpey clay is what the lion and the skull filigree is. I thought it was a fabulous idea. I love the two-dimensional. And then this is some of my artwork with the leopard and the plaid. I'll show you a better picture of it up close, but this whole book is just full of some great ideas. I'll show you one of my other favorites in here. I love this one. It always reminds me of like Britney and Christina Aguilera back in the day. Again, I'll show you a better picture of it up close, but it's so fabulous. It's so cool. So anyways, that is it. Again, I will have this list. It'll be on my Pinterest board, Dloveoffashion. It's under Dloveoffashion, and the board will be called Dloveoffashion, just so nobody gets confused. So if you want to take a look at it and think about it, maybe see what you're passionate about. Like I said, it's no surprise that mine's all about fashion and beauty, because we're all beautiful in some way or another. So anyways, I appreciate you listening. Foxy's still taking a really good nap. She's doing good. She's hugging her feet, so she's a happy girl. Oh, now she wants me to scratch her belly. So thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Have a good day.